would not send messages to congratulate you of the new year. It is their fault for not trying to understand deen. It is their fault for not trying to gain ma'rifat of Rasulullah. You see that these people have understood that it is sunnah to wear a black shawl. They have understood that it is sunnah to carry miswak with you. They have all learned that it is sunnah to wear yellow slippers. But that person who would sit in the lap of Rasulullah, and Rasulullah at every gathering would say, "Oh people, look, this is my grandson Hussein ibn Ali." He would remind the people, "Remember Hussein ibn Ali." But people have now forgotten Hussein. This is how our society is changing. Coming back to the point that our decisions are made in regards to the world and society we live in. Bring your children to the majlis of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein in such a way that Sayyida Fatimatu Zahra is pleased with you. Now it is your time to learn from this open university of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. Today, think of it in this way, that today is the open day of the University of Imamia Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. And when you go to the open day of the universities of the world, you have 101 questions, because you know that the admission into that university will change your life forever. If you can do that for a university of this dunya, then why not prepare yourself for the University of Imam Hussein? Prepare yourself, because when you cry for Hussein, your heart and your mind, they are both cleaned by the barakat of Aba Abdullah Hussein. And this is where we need to make use of our life. The Holy Prophet says that do value 5 things in your life before you lose these 5 things. And that is our final lesson in this majlis today. 5 things that you need to give value to, you need to give your attention to. The Holy Prophet says, give value to your youth before your youth is overtaken by old age. People say, and I have seen elders that say, "Abhi to bacha hai." He is a child. He has all his life to learn about Islam. If you had all your life to learn about Islam, then the Holy Prophet wouldn't have said, learn ilm from the cradle to the grave. Yani ilm is given to a child no matter how old he is. So my youngsters, make use of the youth that you have today. Do Hajj, do Umrah, do Ziyarat, do Ibadat whilst you have this youth. There is no use you doing sajda to Allah Azza wa Jal when you spend 50 years of your life not doing sajda to Allah. Your namaz will be still accepted, but ma'rifat of Allah begins when you have ma'rifat of what is right and wrong. You see in your society, a 16-year-old says that I have fallen in love. He has the akal he has the knowledge, he has the brain to love someone else. But when you say to the parent, why you have not given him ma'rifat of deen, he says that he is too young. Yani he has ma'rifat to love someone else, but he doesn't have ma'rifat to love Allah Azza wa Jal. This is where we need to change ourselves. So youngsters, make use of your youth before it is taken over by old age. The second thing, make use of your health before it is clouded by illness. Those people that are not well, may Allah give them shifa. They can understand what is the ni'mat of health. When you find it difficult to go into sajda, when you find it difficult to stand for ruku, then you realize what is the azmat of health. And it is the fitr of insan that we do not value that thing until we lose that thing. So make use of your health before illness. And then the Holy Prophet says, make use of your wealth before you are surrounded by poverty. Today, £1 you give for Imam Hussein in this month of Muharram, have yaqeen that they do not keep the haqq of anyone. You give £1, have yaqeen that Imam Hussein will give you 1,000 in return. This is where you need to spend your money. Going to snooker clubs, going to parties, going with your friends. You are spending money on haram. And when it comes to spending money on haram, you never think twice. If you go and you want to buy a Red Bull, even if it is £5, you will buy a Red Bull. But if someone says to you, a bottle of Zamzam is £20, you say it's too expensive. That Red Bull will benefit you and it will benefit your body, but Zamzam will benefit your soul. This is what we need to understand. What will benefit us in this dunya and what will benefit us in the hereafter. So use your wealth for deen. Imam Ali says that wealth has barakat, that is spent on the zikr and it is spent in promoting the teachings of Ahlul Bayt. Never be conjuice, never be stingy when it comes to spending in the way of Ahlul Bayt. And the final thing is, the Holy Prophet says, make use of your life before you are taken by death. Death can come at any age. You have seen youngsters die in tragic accidents. The parents said they had their whole life in front of them. This is why you need to think about the time that you have now. Allah has showered you with His mercy that today, on this eve, where every single person that do not have ma'rifat of Ahlul Bayt, they are celebrating. But you have been chosen by Ahlul Bayt to sit in the zikr of Aba Abdullah. People say to us, why do we cry for Hussein? 1400 years have passed and still today, after 1400 years, Shia gather when the moon of Muharram is seen and Shia cry for Hussein. Azadaro, crying for Hussein is not done until you understand who Hussein is. Let's ask the Prophet who Hussein was. Azadara, today we are sitting. No one is stopping us from crying. We are able to cry for Hussein as much as we can. But look at the miracle of Imam Hussein. We are able to cry for that Hussein whose sisters were not allowed to cry on the body of Hussein. Azadara, today when you leave, take a time to look at the moon. Because when Imam Hussein saw this moon whilst he was traveling to Karbala, as soon as Imam Hussein saw the moon, he said, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Every single woman who was with Imam Hussein began to cry. The mother of Ali Akbar began to cry. The mother of Qasim began to cry. The mother of Ali Asghar began to cry. Every single woman was crying. But Azadaro, do you think all these women were crying alone? No. Azadaro, when Imam Hussein left Medina, there was a woman that was following Imam Hussein, and every time Imam Hussein stopped, this woman said, Oh Hussein, my ribs are broken, but I have left Medina. And that woman is Fatima Zahra. Azadaro, Fatima Zahra is the name of that pious lady that after Rasulullah, Muslims came to give the ajr of Risalat. Azadaro, her door was burnt. But why is it that we still cry for Hussein? Imam Hassan says that after the passing of our grandfather, I would not pass one street in Medina. Imam Hassan was questioned, Yabna Rasulullah, what is that street and why do you not walk through that street? Azadaro, Imam Hassan says, how can I walk through that street that my mother Fatima Zahra was slapped and she was hit against the wall? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Ya Ilahi, today is Chand Raat. Tonight is the 1st of Muharram. Mawla, we have gathered so that we can understand your mission. Mawla, we have gathered so that we can connect with you. Ya Ilahi, for the ghurbat of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, give us ma'rifat in regards to the mission of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. Ya Ilahi, bless Imamia mission, the executive committee, every single person who is making it possible and will make it possible until Ashura, every single person who is helping, grant their du'as with the wasila of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. Ya Ilahi, forgive our sins and the sins of our marhumeen. Ya Ilahi, hasten the reappearance of our 12th Imam. Everyone together, Allahumma ajil waliyyika al-faraj. Allahumma ajil waliyyika al-faraj. Allahumma ajil waliyyika al-faraj. Rabbi salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Together with the loudest of your voices, together can we recite salawat 3 times, please.
इकराम नमाज के फौरन बाद किबला इलामा अरूजुल हसन वो खिताब फरमाएंगे।